Good morning to you this morning on this Monday, which has become our 2-for-1 devotion day. Yesterday would have been, if we'd have gone there on our daily Devo for yesterday. Deep Consolation is the title of it, and the scripture passage is Romans 8:20 and 21. For the creation was subjected to frustration, not by its own choice, but by the will of the one who subjected it, in hope that the creation itself will be liberated from its bondage to decay and brought into the freedom and glory of the children of God. Because of the nature of God's creation, we need work for our happiness. And because of God's intentions for our work to contribute to the flourishing of the world, we have glimpses of what we could accomplish. But because of the fall of the human race, our work is also profoundly frustrating, never as fruitful as we want, and often a complete failure. This is why so many people inhabit the extremes of idealism and cynicism, or even ricochet back and forth between those poles. Idealism says, through my work, I am going to change things, make a difference, accomplish something new, bring justice to the world. Cynicism says, nothing really changes. Don't get your hopes up. Do what it takes to make a living. Don't let yourself care too much, and get out of it whatever you can. Genesis chapter 3, verse 18 tells us not only that thorns and thistles will come out of the ground, but also that you will eat the plants of the field. Thorns and food. Work will still bear some fruit, though it will always fall short of its promise. Work will be both frustrating and fulfilling, and sometimes, just often enough, human work gives us a glimpse of the beauty and genius that might have been the routine characteristic of all our work, and what, by the grace of God, it will be again in the new heavens and the new earth. It's a reminder to us that what God created us for, we're still to be doing it. The problem being, it's not as good as it could have been if we had not had forefathers and mothers who gave in to the lies of Satan, and all the work that they now had to do fell to them. And that's not easy to do that. A deep consolation. Creation was subjected to frustration. Part of Romans 8 here, not by its own choice, but by the will of the one who subjected it, in hope that the creation itself will be liberated from its bondage to decay and brought into the freedom and glory of the children of God. So I don't know what translation he uses, but it's worded just a little bit different than the verse I've quoted a few times from Romans chapter 8, that all creation groans. All creation groans, waiting for the children of God to be revealed. In other words, waiting for the Creator to come back and get things squared away that we've messed up. It's a consolation, and it's a deep one for sure. We just don't know when it's going to happen. We don't know what part we can play now in improving it and caring for it, being the stewards of it that we're supposed to be. We just don't know all of those things. But you can either be an idealist, or you can be a cynic. Take your choice. Either one of them doesn't really work 100%, I don't think. So it's all there for us, but it's not all as pleasant as God planned it to be for us. And again, we often don't know what really needs to be done to improve that work that we've been given, that responsibility that we've been given. So that was for yesterday, for the Sunday one, and now for today, June 29th. Under the Sun is the title. Ecclesiastes 2:17, so I hated life because the work that is done under the sun was grievous to me. All of its meaninglessness, a chasing after the wind. Some books in the Bible are like listening to a pastor giving counsel on how to live. The book of James in the New Testament, for example, or Proverbs in the Old Testament. But reading Ecclesiastes is like sitting in a philosophy class with a professor who provokes you with thorny Socratic questions and strange case studies, who pulls you into a dialogue to lead you to discover truth for yourself. The philosopher pushes you to look at the foundations of your life and to ask the basic questions that we might otherwise avoid. Is there any meaning to your life? What are you really doing? What are you really doing it all for? Why is there so much wrong with the world? How will you cope with it? The author of Ecclesiastes is using the character of the philosopher to push readers toward an understanding of the transcendent uniqueness and necessity of God. Nothing within this world is sufficient basis for a meaningful life here. If we base our lives on work and achievement, on love and pleasure, or on knowledge and learning, our existence becomes anxious and fragile, because circumstances in life are always threatening the very foundation of our lives, and death inevitably strips us of everything we hold dear. Ecclesiastes is an argument that existential dependence on a gracious creator God, not an abstract belief, is a precondition for an unshakable, purposeful life. This devotion for the Monday today balances out the one that we read for yesterday. We once again have to remember whose control we're going to put it under, whose hands are we going to put our responsibilities in and trust him for in our lives. And of course, the answer here is the Creator God, who knows how it's supposed to be, how it's supposed to go, how it's supposed to look, all of those different things. We take it to him, and we ask for help. We ask for advice. We ask him to make it possible for us to be faithful to our responsibilities that he gave first Adam and Eve, but basically for the entire human race, that we care for his creation. And that is, Ecclesiastes can be a bit depressing at times, I'm sure, but there's important advice going on there, and it's a good book to read on that subject. That in that book, that one and Proverbs, you will find advice. You will find road signs pointing to what are the best choices, what's the best approach, those kinds of things. What's the best way to live is one of the most important ones for sure. So that's how we're going to start this week off with our daily devos, deep consolation, and then under the sun. And there is nothing new under the sun. I'm surprised that wasn't picked out as the verse for this one. So blessings to you today on this Monday, and just ask the Lord what he wants you to do today.